Yeah, shout out Mojave. You know what I'm saying? Bro, stop talking like that.
It has to have a crunch on it, and that should yield to really tender, seasoned, juicy meat. That is a perfect fried chicken, and everything else from there is kind of...
I'm not gonna lie, bro. This chicken don't look that great. Like, when I make the chicken, it look better than this, low key.
You know, the spinning wheels, if you will. The main difference in American fried chicken is completely a flour crust. Definitely veers more towards like the crunchy spectrum of things. Whereas in Asian fried chicken, you usually be smaller pieces cut up into dices and fried with pure starch.
No, I'm not hating. I'm just saying.
And it's very
like it's cool. Don't get, it's probably cool, but it's not. It's not the same though. That's all.
Crispy and light. So it kind of exists like in between that. It's crispy, it's crunchy, it has a little bit of sweetness, but it also has like that intense savoriness of American style fried chicken. And then when you add all the chili paste together, it has a lot of flavors.
This I'm not eating. I'm sorry, I can't eat this. I can't eat this. I can't eat this. Like, I know white people get the joke / clowning of like not having seasoning on their food. I think this is overly, you know what I mean? I don't know, I just don't trust it. My taste buds might go too many different ways. I'm a simple type of taste budser.
So it seems to work out.
It just looks like there's so much in it. I wouldn't know though, I haven't tried it, but it looks like it's so much in it. You gonna eat me? That's fine. A lot of people tell me I taste good.
This is very important. This is probably the foundation upon which this fried chicken temple is built. The rock, if you will. If I'm busting out the scale,
You got basic taste. I get it. You're literally yellow.
it means I'm taking it very seriously. Normally, just kind of freehand it all. It's a mixture of these Tianjin chilies here, which we dry and toast a little bit, and then we blend them into a fine powder. We got Sichuan peppercorns here that we toast and grind. Very aromatic. The idea is here is it's hot, it's spicy, it's warm. If I'm
Shamar, ALM. All lives matter? That's the type of energy you want? All right, bro. Y'all see what he said. ALM. Okay, got you, fam.
doing it right, I don't have to taste it too many times.
Got you.
And anyway, after I taste it 2 or 3 times anyway, my taste buds are pretty shot.
You don't ever interject and try to assume what another man meant. He didn't say that. He didn't specify, so it's all lives matter. Stop. Don't even talk to me like that. Don't ever even try it. I fucked the shit out of all you niggas, bro. Stop it.
It's imperative I get it right
What you
within
saying?
the first couple tries. It's tingly.
I really
not
do
that
you.
it's like melt your face off.
I
Kinda
really
hot.
do you.
While the recipe is fairly true, it needs a little touch
just
of heat in
saying.
there. Nice.
Yeah, he's coughing. It's too much.
Yeah. And then we're gonna mix it with our warm duck fat. You know, I think when you think of fried chicken, you have to think of the oil as like an ingredient. It's a cooking medium. There's a little bit of oil that
You got a Glock. Fuck is you gonna do? I got a cock. What you gonna do? What?
percolates throughout the crust, and that's what makes it different from bacon.
Okay,
And
nigga,
that's what
and?
the chicken is brushed or dipped in. So we're currently in our pop-up space in Rosalou Diner, while our permanent space is being built out. So this is our temporary home. Once the diner's all
This is a nice looking spot. Wow.
set and they're finished with their day, they'll typically clear out of the kitchen and finish the dining room up at 2:30, and then we'll get in there and we'll start flipping it into what we need to do. So originally this started in my family's restaurant in Queens, which was, you know, an abundance of space. But unfortunately that lease ended. We needed a temporary home to keep the business running, so we came over here to Rosalou Diner. It's very challenging to have 2 menus that just don't have any overlap. I think there's a reason restaurants don't share spaces. It's a hectic process. It's very challenging, but we try our best. Yeah, so we get these really beautiful whole air-chilled chickens from Pennsylvania. Then we break them into 10 parts, just like true crunchy style. The legs we'll take out. The oyster, obviously, super important here. Best bit on the thigh. And then obviously everyone likes a drumstick. Nice little handle on it. This is what the emoji for fried chicken is. So yeah, then we'll split the chicken right down the breastbone.
Yeah, split me.
We're real delicate about the way we process the breast skin.
Use
This
more
is really
force.
delicate. It's very easy for it to slide off and slip off. You know, I'm very much a stickler about it being a whole
Yanking
chicken.
them out.
And an air chilled chicken. The vast majority of industrial chickens are cooled via ice bath. The skin gets really soggy and soppy. And when they are air chilled, they still maintain this beautiful skin integrity. So I think, you know, when people are talking about how crispy the skin is and how chewy it is, it's tender, everything kind of falls away in one bite. You know, I think that's where the detail really is. So yeah, that's your 10 pieces right there. So yeah, we're gonna start marinating the chicken. Ideally, we do this ahead in a 24-hour window. They do the buttermilk marinade with onion powder, garlic powder, Chinese 5-spice, mustard. And then we're gonna add a little flour. It makes the paste kind of sticky, and if the flour hydrates overnight, and that way it adds like a really nice you know, substrate, if you will, for the dredge to adhere to. Yeah,
I want to make my meal like this, but like for a week. But I don't have a pan that big.
I'd say the only thing that's like not traditional about it is the 5-spice. Having the exact ratio is really important for it to be a great product. I think
I could do this once a week.
Probably a more unusual bit of how we fry chicken, and probably what makes it unique. It's a combination of pure starches and flour.
No measurements. Yeah, when you a cook, you don't need measurements. When you a cook, when you for real, you don't even need to measure it out. You just know.
You know, in a traditional country style chicken, it would just be flour. Which is great. We add pure starches like potato starch, cornstarch. You know, those are more prevalent in Asian cooking. They are super crispy. We add our seasoning mix to it, which is salt, sugar, MSG. And then we also use a product called Evercrisp. It's a cost worth that minor detail of someone going to the fridge at like 2 in the morning to have a bite. And
right.
Crispy. Like that's worth it to us.
I feel him.
We try to keep a mix of white and dark meat as best we can. So he sends every day starting off by counting exactly what we want to use, what the ratio of white to dark meat is. And then, you know, he'll pre-fry probably like 40 to 50 orders just to give us like a head start. And then we'll see how the night goes. It would be impossible to fry all this chicken order. We kind of do all this par frying to get ahead, especially with only 2 deep fryers. There's just no other way. These thighs, like he's frying thighs right now, they'll fry for a solid 9 minutes. They'll take some time to get cooked through and nice and tender. So yeah, he'll fry, depending on how busy the day looks, you know, anywhere between 35 and 50 orders just to get us a head start. And then we'll keep rolling it throughout the night if it's busy. But without par frying, it would be impossible. I mean, when we did the delivery operation, we par fried like 100, 150 orders a day, and then cooked everything right before we started going out the door, driving around Manhattan. So yeah, par frying is the key to success here. This is definitely a logistical step that we need. Yeah, so this all started in September 2020. It was completely through Instagram, through friends of friends, and then it kind of just became a thing. We caught fire with some press hits, and then all of a sudden my Instagram inbox was like flooded with like 600, 800 requests for chicken. I didn't really know how to build a website, so the only way to lock the order page was via password. So that's kind of how the password waitlist chicken started. And, you know, at its apex, it was 8,000, 9,000 people. It took us about 10 weeks to get to people, which was challenging. So this is for our chicken sandwich. It's a deboned, skin-on chicken thigh. Chicken thigh is great in general, very juicy, has a lot of beautiful connective tissue that breaks down, has a really nice bite for a sandwich. We liked keeping the skin on. We were trying to do a chicken sandwich that had not been done before. We felt that was an extra detail that was kind of nice because dredge adheres to it in such a way and it has that kind of crunchy texture. It's really something special. Everybody has a chicken sandwich, so we were trying to do something a little different, something that no one had really done before. And so we kind of had a starting point of, you know, what if we glazed it in this kind of dark soy caramel? I know there's a million ways to make caramel the right way, supposedly, but I don't do any of those. I just heat up sugar until it turns the color I want it to turn. While I joke about how kind of a casual and imprecise approach I take to cooking, there is a lot of thought that is put into it, and I like to think it's a detail-oriented kind of approach and meticulous. There is a lot of thought as to like why things are put together the way they are and why things are supposed to taste the way they are. So there is balance and thought put into it. We'll season it up with dark soy, and then we'll simmer it with these aromatics: garlic, ginger, cinnamon, star anise. And then we'll add a little chicken powder as well to add the savoriness.
I don't know what he's cooking.
I've been cooking in fine dining in New York City for 10 years, at Cafe Boulud, then Gramercy Tavern, and then finally at 11 Madison Park as a sous chef. You know, my goal had always been to open my own fine dining restaurant. To me, it was about launching Chinese cuisine into modernity. That had always been my mission. There was a lot of ways to introduce Asian flavors and Asian cooking into what is generally a menu centered around Southern tradition and country cooking. But this was, you know, something that kind of still seemed authentic to the way we like to cook and where my background was coming from. Once I settled on really liking the dark soy caramel, that kind of led me to the pineapple part. So we take these really nice pineapples, and we blend it. You know, we wanted to tie all the spices together with cinnamon and star anise at like almost every level. And then that's just the basis for our fried chicken sandwiches. This is what it looks like when it's done.
That's the basis for your fried chicken sandwiches? Arby's got a great chicken sandwich, but y'all not ready for that conversation. You're right. We not ready for that conversation. We not ready for that conversation. Go ahead and think about what you just said.
Translucent, it's brown, it's caramelized. This is charred cabbage slaw. Cabbage and grilled flavors and charred flavors, they take really well. It brings out a lot of the meatiness of cabbage. And obviously there's a crunch and a vegetal note to it that's really great. In our original restaurant, Pecking House, we would have woks where we would just toss
Let him cook?
Huge fire-breathing wok.
No, we letting him cook.
Get it really nice and toasty, but not an option here, unfortunately. So we're using this plancha, which the diner uses for pancakes. And we've repurposed it to our use to make our charred cabbage slaw. So we'll char it on the plancha, let it get a really nice color on one side. We'll just marinate some Worcestershire sauce, some fish sauce, and then Tabasco. Dining room's arriving. They'll flip the dining room over from the diner into Pecking House for the evening. It's 5 o'clock. We got people coming in. Every now and again, we'll get a big old kick in butt at 5 p.m. and here we go.
The dinner rush.
Fine dining was a very kind of ego-driven
Okay, that
thing.
one looks nice.
It's about showing everyone how great you were and these cool techniques you were doing and such. Obviously, the pandemic kind of changed a lot of things for everybody. We went to this extremely casual, really approachable food and fried chicken. It gets you back to your roots a lot as a cook as well, not just like, you know, from a cultural standpoint. You know, at that time, we got so many beautiful, heartfelt messages from people who were like, this meal just meant so much to me in a time where people were locked inside and kind of freaked out. It became kind of a pivot back to understanding the emotional impact a chef can have and, you know, how it can really mean a lot to people to do this kind of stuff. Every culture has this fried chicken for a reason. It's something everybody enjoys, and there's maybe just slight nuances and slight differences in how we enjoy it. With seasonings and dipping sauces and marinades and methods, I think everyone can appreciate fried chicken in its own way. This was a very simple approach to just we're cooking food for people, making people happy.
That nigga's a demon. Oh my God, bro. That's so evil. I can't even open my eyes for real. That just makes me unhappy that I'm about to get checkers.